Well, what brought me to Insight Women's Center was my daughter Julie and her husband Vince. They've been involved with Insight Women's Center for quite a few years. 20 years ago, they were faced with an unplanned pregnancy, and they went to a crisis pregnancy center in Manhattan, Kansas. And they were shown love and caring, and they wanted to get involved when they moved to Lawrence with the Insight Women's Center so they could help. And then they told me about it, and once I retired, I was able to spend some time and get involved. When any parent has a daughter or a son that's in an unplanned pregnancy, it can be traumatic. And in our situation, we felt it was traumatic at first, but it ended up turning out to be really a joyous experience for us. I was at work and Julie called me and she was crying, and it just broke my heart. And I told her, I said, honey, just quit crying, you know that I love you and I always will. And so they came home that afternoon and talked to Joe and I. They were, really scared and upset. And we just feel by the Holy Spirit, it just touched all of our lives, and we gave them hope that they could finish school. And they did. They both finished college in 4 years. And then we got to have Alex. Alex is going to be 20, and she's finishing her sophomore year up at Johnson County and doing really well. And then she'll go to KU next year in engineering school, along with all the grandkids I have are wonderful. But she is just an angel from heaven. She is just a blessing to our lives. Well, I think it's a fact of life. There's always going to be a lot of unplanned pregnancies. So it's a wonderful thing to have Insight Women's Center here, because we are giving them good information. It's solid medical information, but we're also giving it with the love of Christ in our hearts. The young ladies, they come in, and the first thought of many of them around here especially is that I won't be able to finish college. It's going to ruin my life. This is not a good time for me. And I try to let them know that this isn't an end to their careers or their plans for the future, that they can go on and accomplish anything they want. I know with Julie and Vince, they did, and I think it made them work harder, but they sure did appreciate things a lot more that way. I also, if parents are involved, I just want the parents to know that this isn't the end of the world. And I try to encourage them to love and support their kids during this time, because in the end, it's going to be a really rewarding experience. I know with me personally, and my personal experience with Julie and Vince, I know that an unplanned pregnancy is just not an end to a person's life. It's a beautiful experience, and there is hope. And I think anytime you see a brand new baby born into this world, that's the hope for future. And I just want to be able to encourage people to look at pregnancy like that. It has been such a blessing to be involved with this group and the wonderful women that serve here. It has really helped my Christian walk. Being with women who are totally non-judgmental. We have ladies who come in and they're from all walks of life. They've been experienced with all sorts of things that many of us have never experienced. Some have never been treated right, many of them have been abused, and all the women that I work with, they're really pouring their heart and soul out into these young girls and these women. When we, minister to them, either by doing pregnancy tests or sonograms or counseling, we are showing them, maybe for the first time in their lives, what it's like to be respected and loved.